Hey,
Hey, y'all.
afternoon.
Go, Tom.
Oh, no. Hey, Tom Stewart here. I'm with Liz Trotter. Our guest today is DJ Neumann, and this is Smart Business Moves.
Hey, y'all. I just like to mess with you, Tom. That's all.
Oh,
I know.
I'm still
Sorry,
having
y'all.
technical difficulties here. I'm struggling.
Tom is not used to having technical difficulties, so it stresses him out. I, on the other hand, have technical difficulties on a daily basis, and I'm like, piece of cake.
Thrive in chaos.
Yeah, it's all relative, though. At least it's not like the webinar that we did last week.
Tom, why you got to be bringing that up? Oh my gosh. Oh, all right. DJ, have you ever been hacked on a webinar?
I have not. Is that a thing?
Yeah, you don't want to be.
It doesn't sound like something I want to do.
It's not a pretty sight.
I know you're going to be sharing some marketing ideas. I think this is one of Liz's. I doubt if it's on your list.
Tom, oh my gosh. Come
Hey,
on
you know,
now.
it very well could be. Who knows?
I promise you, this is not on your list. This was big porn. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, okay.
In every sense of the word.
Yeah,
Well, that's a way to start off the podcast. So there we go.
it was in the middle too.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
right when one of the presenters said, oh, so I'm going to share something.
They timed it out well. They did.
Yeah, it was not pretty. I had never, how am I want to word this? I had never been hacked like that before.
Be careful, Liz. Be
I
careful.
know. I'm being very careful. Yeah. And it was kind of, we're all like kind of in shock. It's been almost a week and it's still like top of mind for many people. I was on 3 different meetings today where it was brought up.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Well, like I said, I'm here to bring out all the different marketing stuff that we were talking about offline and stuff like that, and to kind of introduce myself, I guess. My name's DJ Neumann. I'm from Detroit, Michigan area. We're about 20 minutes north of Detroit. I operate a company called Speed Clean Services, and we provide our customers their cleaning for their greatest assets, their buildings, their businesses, and their homes. So we do that through flooring and furniture care, property damage response, and vehicle detailing. So those are all the different things that we do, which I know you guys are into the maid services and that kind of stuff. So there's some overlap there, because a lot of times we work with maid services in our area because that's a service we don't provide, and we kind of work together. So I thought this was going to be an excellent opportunity to, kick that off.
Yeah, me too. But I didn't know you were in Detroit because we were just there.
That's what Tom was saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, the town was Rochester.
Oh, okay. Rochester. That's maybe about 20 minutes away from me. Yeah.
I was thinking it was really close because Lisa was talking about Detroit being, just like hop, skip, and a jump up the road. So I'm like, oh man, we missed a great opportunity there.
Well, next time you're town, let me know. We'll be more than happy to host you.
Yeah, and I want to tell. We have a few people. Where is Wendy, Tom?
She is up that way. I don't know exactly what town she's in.
I think maybe she's a little bit further away, actually.
Because I think further north, I believe.
Yeah. But all right. So I love that there's some overlap. One of the things that I really love is I like to bring people on to the podcast that have a different perspective, right? Are looking at things from a different perspective, but we're all still in home services. We all have a lot of very similar things that we're trying to do. And the different perspective really can pump up different, everybody's ideas, think in a different way. So I'm excited to see. It says here that we're going to be talking about revenue on repeat, right? Strategies to boost client frequency, which is always huge. And then getting more referrals and sales. Right now, a lot of people are struggling with sales.
100%. I just to kind of give like a background on perspective and stuff like that. So fun fact, I actually came home from a hospital in a carpet cleaning truck. So you can't do that really these days. My parents started Speed Clean Services back in 1980, and that was, back then that was their primary vehicle to get around. So
when you said that at first, I thought like that's where you were earlier today cleaning carpet or something. No,
I'm starting from Genesis, right? So so I came home in a carpet cleaning truck, and I grew up in, we're a family-based business, and I grew up, and back then we used to actually do janitorial services, commercial janitorial. And so I grew up scrubbing toilets and pulling trash and vacuuming and getting paid with ice cream, so like that was like how it started out. And then I just kind of grew with the company. And back then it was kind of a thing that my parents did this to put food on the table. It was never a thought to like grow and scale the company. It was just one of those things. And then kind of took over in 2019. And at that time, the company was doing about $750,000, 10% net. And we started scaling it using this FRAP formula that I'm going to talk about. And I was doing it. I didn't even know what I was doing at that time. Like I didn't know that FRAP was the thing that I was doing. And we scaled 620% since 2019. So we're on track right now this year to do 2 million at 27% net. So, and we started hitting it right off. And there was a strong foundation of everything that my dad did and my mom did, growing the company through strong work. But we in order to scale, we started to have to systematize stuff. I noticed like Al Levy was on your podcast at one point. And, so I got to introduce to Al, started doing all kinds of other mentorship, got about $500,000 invested in personal development and personal growth and business growth and stuff like that. And that's where all this stuff started coming together. So this FRAP thing is just one piece of the puzzle, but I figured it'd be a great thing to talk about because it's going to, everybody that's investing their time to listen to this thing, they want to get a return on their investment because time is like the most valuable asset that you have. So I want everybody listening to be able to walk away and apply something, at least one thing in their business that we talk about to earn some extra income.
Well, you're definitely going to have to tell us what FRAP is because
you're teasing.
I know you're a good tease. You're a good tease. Yeah, great job.
I appreciate it. So FRAP stands for frequency, referrals, average ticket, and price. And how each one of these things actually interweaves within the organization. And it's basically, how do we increase the amount of times a customer comes and uses us? And I'm going to share a few strategies on frequency, and then referral. How do we get people to refer us? And when it comes to average ticket, like what opportunities are we looking for to increase the average ticket value for every time that we service our clients? And then lastly, how do we ensure that we're priced properly and increase our price if need be? So I have a resource also for anybody that sticks towards the end. Once we get through some of this conversation, I'll have a link that I'll be able to provide to you guys that will give 60 profit producing ideas based on FRAP.
But if you leave early, forget about it. You're never going to get it.
Right. You don't get the goods if you leave early. Y'all heard it here.
That's it.
All right. That sounds great. Well, wait, Tom, before we dig into this, did we want to, I think we should real quick. You have Made Central Live. Do you have any openings next? You probably don't have any openings, huh?
We could squeeze another person or two in. I mean, we're
okay.
Seriously, we are just about booked out.
I thought you were capped. I mean,
yeah, but no, we still have the click funnel up. If anybody wants to sign up, okay. I'm going to have some people yell at me if too many of y'all do it, but we're going to be closing it down here pretty soon. Yeah, it's next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. MadeCentral.academy. If you want to sign up. I saw some people on Facebook kind of chatting about, should I go or not, and I forgot about that. But
yeah, well, you had said on the other thing that you were book solid. So I didn't even tell anybody about it. I wasn't actually going to bring it up, but
we by some accounts you could say that we are, but
okay.
I
know you'll always bring somebody in.
Yeah, we ditched the round tables this time, and we're doing more of a classroom setting, so we can take a few more people.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, excellent. Also, lead and manage by the numbers, y'all. So if you struggle to lead your people and manage your people using your numbers, then lead and manage by the numbers is Monday and Tuesday. That is a virtual event. Go to coreprofitbuilders.com and check that out. I don't want to talk a whole heck of a lot more about that.
You're not sold out for your virtual event?
No. We could squeeze you in, y'all. Kidding. Yeah. Of course, we have plenty of room, obviously, in the virtual event. I really don't like it to get too big, though, Tom, because it is a workshop. So, we do have to work with the people and everybody's doing stuff. So it's not just talking, unfortunately, which then we could have hundreds, but yeah. All right. So we did our job there. We did our little pitch there. So now go ahead and DJ share a little bit more about FRAP. Start us off with frequency.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm going to give like a little precursor before we get into frequency. And I want everybody to kind of just think about like, what's the primary objective that you're trying to do in your business? And a lot of people say, oh, it's to make money. But I want you to ask yourself a question. So that what? What do you want to make that money for? So that I can take the family on vacation? So that I can figure out what those are and understand where you're starting from. So, Howard Partridge, I'm not sure if you're familiar with him from Clean as a Whistle, right? He talks about goals, planning, and systems, the GPS. You have to know where you start to find out where you're going and know where you want to go, so that we can kind of bridge that gap. So there's a great book by Dan Sullivan called The Gap and the Gain. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not, but it's all about finding out, like in basically in America, we're so always trying to find that gap, like to bridge the gap. We're always looking for the next best thing and hit that goal. Have you ever hit a goal, Liz and Tom, where all of a sudden you hit it and it wasn't as magical as you really thought it was because the target moved? It's like kind of like business is kind of like playing a game at the carnival, and the target's always moving, right?
Yeah.
So figuring out where you are and that gap, and then that gain that you need to get to close that gap, FRAP is going to allow you to do that. And frequency, one of the first ones that I love talking about is actually securing your tomorrow's money. So like, this is like going to the dentist, and at the end of your dentist appointment, what do they do? As if it's like standard operating procedure. All right, when would you like to book your next appointment?
Yeah.
And, a lot of people, when I talk about this, they're like, oh, yeah, I know this. Okay, it's great that you know it, but are you doing it?
I'm doing it.
Yeah, because most of us, we don't need to like get more information. Sometimes like in edutainment, like we all of a sudden get like so caught up in the endorphins of this education stuff that we're like, cool, we got the dopamine hit for the day, but we don't actually put it into action.
So good.
So securing tomorrow's money is one way to increase your frequency.
Okay. I'm going to interrupt you a lot, DJ, because I'm an interrupter. Okay. So I'll probably do this a lot, but if you don't see my hand, I'm just going to interrupt you.
I'm here for it.
Okay.
If that doesn't work, she'll play a video.
Tom, you can't let
I've seen it happen before, DJ. It's not pretty.
You can't let that go, Tom. I saw the video. All right. Okay. So I want to bring up to DJ's point. So a lot of you are probably out there thinking, yeah, but we don't have to worry about that because our people are on a schedule. They're every 2 weeks. Oh, no. There are some things that you're doing periodically that you're not securing your next future. Do you do a deep clean? Do you schedule the next deep clean when you finish that? I bet you don't. Do you clean out a refrigerator? Do you schedule the next refrigerator cleaning when you do that? I bet you don't. So there are a lot of opportunities in our industry as well, even though we are very lucky that we put people on that recurring schedule and they just sort of stick there. I mean, for a lot of us, we don't even recognize how blessed we are to have this set up, right? A good buddy of mine does window cleaning, and what a difference, right? When you're what does he call it, Tom? What does Derek say? Catching your food every day, or
you're basically eating what you kill every day.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, where we don't really have that, right? We just sort of, the money's always there. So I love I love that you say, how did you word it again? Tomorrow's money today? Schedule tomorrow's money today?
Oh, you're talking about, I thought you were talking Tom still.
Yeah, no, you.
Secure your tomorrow's money today.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I
And
love
even if you
that.
have recurring schedules, there's always add-ons, and
Yeah.
I have a feeling we're going to be getting to that when we get to some of the other FRAP terms.
Maybe the average ticket too, probably. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking so too. All right. What else do we need to know about that?
I just plucked, like I said, I got a list of 60 that everybody's going to dive into. So I just plucked some of my favorites out of each one that we'll kind of discuss. But one of them is, remember the 5 simple pieces. So in any type of business, there's only 5 things that you need to do. And that's lead generation, lead nurture, sales, delivery, and ascension. So in the frequency aspect of things, it's the nurturing and the ascension part that we have to really like pay attention to. So like I was reading an article, and did you know that Stanley Steamer does over $400,000 a day in carpet cleaning, whereas the average carpet cleaner in the US only does about $326 daily revenue? So like at the end of the day, it kind of makes you realize like, wow, there's a really big picture, and there's a lot more that we can be doing, because in our industry, it's a lot of times it's a one and done. You know, we're not like the janitorial or maid service where you have that reoccurring, but you can by actually locking it in, like we mentioned in the previous conversation. But like, what are you doing to nurture that client and look for that ascension opportunities? And this whole FRAP formula is all geared towards ascension tactics.
Hey, DJ, could you go that number again? The average carpet cleaning, just like truck or company, is doing 300.
Well, according to this article I was reading a while back, it said that Stanley Steamer does 400,000 a day in carpet cleaning, whereas the average U.S. carpet cleaner does about 326 in average daily revenue, is the exact term that they used in the article. So
one individual company is doing 326, but
I'm assuming they're targeting maybe owner operators and stuff like that. I'm assuming, but that's just to kind of show that big gap there that can happen.
Yeah, but like Stanley Steamer's doing 100 million a year, and the average carpet company is doing like 75,000 based on those.
That's kind of his point,
right?
Why are you only doing 75K when you could be doing how much?
Right. Well, I remembered when I started out, and I know we're still
a carpet
small.
truck for 75,000 a year. I'm sorry to cut you off, but no, go ahead. It's just like the numbers that just blow my mind.
They're too big, right? It's like, what?
Yeah, and you know, I remember when we crossed over the $1 million threshold, and I was like, you know, still like we're still small, and we still are, even hitting the 2 million. We're still small, but then like you think like, there are so many startups, so many people that are coming, and there's so much room for growth, you know, as it goes. So it's just keeping it to the 5 simple things. Like, how do we get the leads? How do we nurture the leads? How do we actually close the sale? And then, you know, deliver the service and then ascend. So like, I do a lot of stuff with
hold on.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Cause you go fast. You talk fast.
I apologize. I'll try to slow it down. I want to make sure I get everything in for you.
No, people will love it. People will love it. I promise. All right. So I'm going to go over the 5 simple things that DJ keeps mentioning. I'm going to go over them just a little bit slower. And he's saying that these 5 things, focus hard on these. I'm guessing these are like your basic KPIs that you're looking at all the time. So first is lead gen. So for those of you that are writing things down, next one is lead nurture. The next one is close the sale, right? How many of the sales are you closing? Next is the delivery of your service. And then the last one is ascension, which we have not talked about ever, I don't believe. Have we on Smart Business Moves, Tom? So you might need to dig into that a little bit for us, DJ.
Yeah, ascension, I think you guys may have touched base on. I mean, ascension is basically scaling the business, like actually the growth aspect of growing the business. And yeah, these are all great KPIs and things to be looking at, and understand that like the average sale takes about 12 to 14 touch points to make that sale actually transact. A lot of times people, I shot that email off, I'm good. and they hide behind that as opposed to actually doing the follow-up, the fortunes in the follow-up. And that's how you get frequency, is through the follow-up.
Oh,
Well,
So-
we know people that don't even send that initial email, right? They're just so busy. Like we remember we were at Foundations. I don't know which Foundations, but
Yeah,
it was early on.
yeah.
And
And they thought they needed to spend more on marketing.
yeah. And there were so many leads in her email that she hadn't had time to check in with yet.
I agree with you. And when you're going through, not just the follow-up, but when you finally get that sale closed, you should reinforce that sale. That's the next one that I had here for you, is sell, then reinforce. Like, how many times have you bought something you're not sure that you made like the right decision? So you want to have that reinforcement. So, it's a matter of it could be something as simple as giftology. And that's something we'll get into a little later, but make sure that they make the right choice, or you reinforce them by the choice they made. So maybe 1 minute somebody gives you money, something should happen that actually reinforces. It could be sending them a gift. It could be sending them that email explaining, and a little extra, that's gotten into.
I am not good at this. I am a really good example in this area of exactly what you said earlier, DJ. I know it. Yeah, but do you do it, Liz? Well,
right.
Not as well as I should. That's for darn sure. Not as well as I should.
And
it's nice knowing it.
I know.
Hey, I'm guilty, Liz. I'm guilty as well. I've been there, done that, and got the postcard as well, T-shirt. The last one I pulled out of the frequency thing is unused account credit. This is actually one of my favorite ones, and we do this one at Speed Clean, and it's a perfect logical justification to re-engage for past customers who are maybe due for service, or like you said, that fridge cleaning or whatever that might need to be done. But you just give them a call and say, hey, I was just going through our record. I noticed that you have a $50 account credit on, or whatever that dollar amount is. If you have a $50 account credit, and it looks like you're already due for service at the end of September, and before you close out, before you lose it, let's go ahead and secure that so you don't lose it. It's a totally different psychological thing than, hey, I'm giving you a gift card, or hey, here's a coupon or whatever, because you've given them something. And
they already have it.
Yeah, they already have it. So now you're going to take it away from me? What do you mean you're going to take it away from me?
I can't lose that $50. Sign me up for a $500 job.
Yes, dude, that is so good. High five for all of y'all that are on here right now. Stop a second. If you're thinking, yeah, but I don't have any people that have a $50 credit on their account, rethink that, y'all. Could they have a $50 credit on there?
What strategies do you use? What strategies do you use, DJ, to help your customers earn these credits? I imagine you've got a ton of customers who've got a $50 credit.
Every one of our customers do.
Yeah, like, does anybody not
go through the list? And it's a seasonal campaign that we'll drum up, and we do this to our regular customers, and we'll just say, hey, it was a thing. And the cool thing is we actually treat it like cash, so it's not a gimmick by any means, because we treat it as cash for our customers, and it is a value. They use our services regularly. I'm a big proponent of rewarding the people who actually frequently use us. Nothing aggravates you more than, oh, why is the new customer getting all the bonuses and the hoopla? So this is a way to reward your customers who are actually loyal.
Do they ever say, why don't you just go ahead and send me the check?
No, it's an account credit. So, at that point they can do. I've never had that happen, but I can tell you that it does get a lot of engagement, and the closing rate is significantly higher on that than any of our other referral campaigns or frequency campaigns.
Absolutely. I love this. So I like to gamble, and because
she's got a problem, DJ.
I like to play the slots, right? And I like to go to the same places over and over again because I build up a credit. And the credits are like free money that I can play in the machine. And they also send me these amazing deals where, hey, come in and we'll give you $225 of free play. I have to go. They force me, DJ. Right? How can I pass up that $225 in free play? right? So I go in and same thing. I didn't really have to do anything to get that. For all y'all that keep missing the point, right?
Right.
Give your people the credits, y'all.
Yeah. Tell you what, if you're in the Metro Detroit area and you're listening to this, you're like, hey, where's my free $50? Give us a call, 586-791-1500.
I got it for you.
Scan this little link here and, take advantage of it.
Yeah. Hey, blow up this screen real quick, y'all, if you're not seeing it. And he wasn't kidding, right? Scan that
QR code right there
and get your $50 credit. I love that so much. I can't even tell you. So y'all do that. You're going to make so much money. So this is like a great use of your time here today. All right.
This is, we've done this for a while, and not often do we hear something that hasn't really been discussed before, but that's not
been a while.
It's not in the consideration set in the house cleaning world. Not that I've ever heard.
It is now.
Good. It should. The whole point of this conversation is to increase the net profit, because at the end of the day, revenue is vanity and profit is sanity. So we want to make sure that, everybody here is actually making money so they can reinvest in their team and reinvest in the business and into their customers. So that, what's the point? Otherwise you just own a job, right? So
we have said that once or twice before.
Yeah. Just a time or two.
Yeah.
But I just want to be clear, and just in case my good buddy, I can't, his name just instantly went out of my head.
You're very good, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I hate when I do that. Tim hates it when I do it about him too. My husband sometimes no, what's his name, Tom? The guy that he has a coaching business and he teaches small business owners that want to remain solopreneurs. How to maintain, they can have a job, but they can still be very, very
Is it possible? Is it possible that it's Josh Latimer?
It's not Josh.
That's somebody who I'm actually partnering up with that we're doing a lot of this frap stuff with, and he has some coaching stuff.
And he's doing some stuff with your work and AI stuff too, right?
Yep.
He'll look him up. So just in case he is listening, Tom's going to pull up his name because he does pay attention here. That's a legitimate way to run your business as well. If you want to be a solopreneur and you don't want to scale, you don't want to have all of the headaches, et cetera, that go with, a big company, and you want to have a job, make it a good job. Make it a job that is very profitable. Do more with that too. I can picture his face so perfectly. Why am I blanking here? All right, DJ. While Tom is looking that up, keep going.
Right.
I'm loving this.
This is transferring into referrals now. So I pulled out a couple things for referrals. So if you ever read the book by Chet Holmes, the Ultimate Sales Machine, it's talked about in there, and you probably heard it in a lot of different classes, is the Dream 100 list. So actually figuring out like who your top 100 customers, it doesn't even have to be top 100 for right now. Start with top 10. Who put that thing on the board. My dad talked about this early on when he was doing janitorial. He had a big whiteboard at the office. I remember it as a kid, and it was a dry erase board, and he'd put all the things of the buildings that he wanted in town, and he would just keep going until those things filled up. And if one of them ended up emptying out, well, then he knows he had to fill up that gap. And so the Dream 100 is a big strategic way of building relationships with the right people to get new customers that are valuable for your business. So kind of putting the crosshairs on and identifying who those people or businesses are. The next one, and we talked about it already a little bit.
One thing real quick. You're dropping a lot of good stuff on us, right? So I know I have to keep stopping you after everything, but I just gotta. All right. So Lisa, if you're on, or when you get on, Lisa Shaw, she is in commercial. We were just talking about this today in one of the circles, and she's looking for how to grow her referrals a little bit. And I want her to be listening to this part. I just took note of the time on here, right at the 28-minute mark.
There you go.
Here you go, Lisa. All right, go ahead, DJ.
So the next one after Dream 100 is, and we already touched base on this a little bit, is giftology. Okay, and there's an excellent book by John Ruin that talks about this, and it's really neat. When you buy it, even comes with a gift, a little bookmark in here. And this one I was excited about because I specifically looked up an example for the maid industry because I knew like this is your target audience. Yeah. So one of the gifts that I heard about happening here was a maid that was going in and they would bring 4 balls of cookie dough in to bake cookies inside the oven every time that that happened. And then all
laugh. Guess who that is?
Who is that?
That's me.
That's you.
That's me.
I did not know that, but that's awesome. So all right, so everybody already knows that. But giftology is great because all of a sudden, by doing that, it expands everything out because you're doing that little extra that the other person didn't do. They walk into that like sweet aroma of the cookies making and you leave them there. So that's awesome, Liz. That is so cool. They didn't mention you. They didn't give you credit. So that's cool.
That's okay. It gets brought up a lot in a lot of different areas. So one thing that I want to say about that too, that I think gets missed a lot when people talk about it is sometimes you're doing the thing that's a little bit extra, but a lot of times you're going to find how many people you don't know this, DJ, but Tom will know. I would say 95% of the people that heard about us doing that when we first did it hated that idea with a white hot fiery passion. Told me how stupid I was. That was like the worst idea ever. So a lot of times for y'all that you're trying to do a little something different, don't be put off because other people don't like your idea. I'm not saying do everything if everybody's telling you it's a bad idea. I'm not saying that either. But just because other people don't like the idea doesn't mean it's a bad idea. Sometimes those are your better ideas, are the things that nobody else wants to do because there's no competition. Nobody wants to do it.
I had one of my mentors once tell me is dogs don't bark at parked cars. So as long as you're moving at the right direction, the dogs might end up barking. The haters might start barking at you because you're moving. If you're staying stagnant, nobody's got anything to say.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. So, to bring this giftology back, I heard I was reading something else about was it in the service industry for food service where giftology can be utilized. And this is like getting those Andes mints. Even if your restaurant doesn't even have the Andes mints, bring them yourself and you give it to them because everybody loves that little chocolate. And you go to turn away and then pause for a second and turn around and say, you know what? I'm just give you one extra one and then walk away. Servers have noticed that their increase in tips rose by 20 to 25% just doing this little thing because it was a law of reciprocity that happens during that giftology process. So, like I said, that's a great thing that you can kind of lead into it.
The book you're referencing, the author started with the Cutco knives. Is that the book?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. And the cool thing too is when you're doing giftology, just because you have swag, like you could have got Speed Clean Services swag or whatever, I can send that to you, but that's not really a gift. That's promotional stuff. Where it really ties in is actually listen to what people want and need and give them something if you're able to, if the right client is there, that you go ahead and you give them that gift that is something that is going to be meaningful to them. It could be like, let's say a set of knives and you give them that set of knives. And every time they're cutting up their dinner, preparing for their family, they're thinking about you, even though your name's not on the knives or that bourbon set or whatever it is that you want to do, something that is meaningful to them because it's an actual thoughtful gift.
All right. I got another one for you. So for y'all that love giftology, although they got a new book out. I mean, did a new look to the book. Did you see that new fancy look they have on that book now, Tom? That looks good. Good job on that. All right. Here's another one for residential cleaning. We have a lot of pets. This one is, I can't remember who started this. I want to give Lisa Shaw credit for this one again. Or it might have been our good friend Joanne in Iowa. Might be her too. Anyway, whoever it is, they buy bandanas, pet bandanas on Amazon for like 12 cents a piece. And they leave the little pet like for Halloween. I know everybody over at American Made, all the dogs and all the cats are getting little Halloween bandanas.
Was that Trisha Lake, maybe?
I don't.
No.
It was either Joanne or it was Lisa.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's a very inexpensive way. Your customers don't love a whole heck of a lot more than they love their pets. You give a little gift to their pet, oh yeah, that's good, right? So
100%.
yeah, that's a fun one. All right, I don't want to take you off because I know you have a lot to share.
No, you're good. The last one to referrals is actually making sure that you guys are using all 5 referral pillars. So what do I mean by that? Phone, email, text, in person, and physical mail. So these are all different things that you should be doing, and try to gauge to at least 6 requests. So before you even do the work, maybe like we use a software called Service Titan, which is Tom and I were talking, is similar to like the Made Central stuff that you guys have, but shooting out a message on the way saying, hey, if you have a referral, so you're planting those seeds ahead of time, and then when you're there, actually asking for the referral in person, then shooting an email out afterwards. Hey, did you like the service that was provided? Is there anybody that a crazy uncle or something like that 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 might need to get this stuff tidied up? These are types of things. Then sending a postcard. We talked about Josh Latimer. He created this software called Send Jim. You can use that to post mail bomb drop the zip codes. We do something in our business called 5-arounds, where like the service that we're doing, we have a door hanger saying, hey, your neighbor just came clean today, and it's got coupons for services in there, and we put the door hangers on each neighbor to the left and the right, and the 3 across the street. And the hope is, so now you can get them on the same route, so that next time you have more revenue coming in per trip, because now you're hitting 3 or 4 or 5 houses on the same street.
Yeah, I always love this one. We call them 6-packs.
6-packs. Okay.
I like them. Same idea, right? But I do love the one line, y'all. The one line is really effective. That we clean your neighbor's house. So there is a lot of research out there, and I'll check into it, that proximity plays a big part in how strong your referral is. So when people think that they're somebody that's close to them is saying something, doing something, they feel more inclined to do the thing, care about the thing, be invested in the thing than somebody that's far away. A real quick example on that, so that you can kind of relate to what I'm saying. You may have heard about like a huge flood that is somewhere in some other country, even another continent. And you're like, oh, it's so sad. It's so terrible. And then I'm embarrassed to say that we do this, y'all, but 10 minutes later, it's off your radar. And then a half hour later, you hear about a house fire in your neighborhood. You can't get out of your mind for weeks, right? One house fire, one family, nobody, no loss of life or anything, but still weighing on you, proximity. So keep in mind how proximity can work for you. And
Zig Ziglar's quoted for saying it all the time. People do business with you because they know, like, and trust you. So if they don't know you, one of the best ways that they can build trust and get to know you is through the neighbors. And I completely agree with you there, Liz.
Yeah. So, I didn't even know Zig was the one that started with know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't know that. That's good info. All right. What else you got here?
All right. Try to get through this all for you. But average ticket is where we're going on to next. So we're almost done with the FRAP formula here. But average ticket. So the first thing is you can create a decoy offer for price anchoring. So there's a great book. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it or not, by Joe Sarah. What Should We Do? Excellent book. It's geared towards the home service industry. But
you read this, Tom?
I've never seen this.
Me
either. Who's Joe?
Joe Cicera. Yeah, Joe Cicera. And excellent read. I think it's like 6 hours if you listen to it on Audible. But he he talks about pure motive service and basically, ensuring that your people, your customers are being taken care of, and you do it with a pure intention, no expectation, just treat them like your best friend by providing options, 3 to 6 options specifically. That's kind of like the 60,000 foot overview of the book, but he gives all kinds of great examples on how to increase the average ticket and everything in there. And the decoy offer by price anchoring, you always start with the highest price and then you work your way down, because if you all of a sudden show the offer of, let's say, $1,000 a month or $10,000 a month, whatever it is that's going on, all of a sudden the middle tier offer and the low end offers are all of a sudden a lot more reasonable. And you know what? People will also buy your high end ticket offers as well. So everybody should be at least having that put in front of them, and you should be treating every customer like they're a millionaire. You're not your own customer. So sometimes we often are the objection to our own sale because we're saying, oh, the customer isn't going to want that, so I'm just not going to do it. When I've experienced it, and just my own damning admission is, back in the day, we used to not offer that all the time. And we were doing follow-ups, and one of the customers said, I loved your service, but what really bothered me is after we did work with you, we found out that you did these other services and it was never offered to me. What's that all about? And so that was kind of an eye-opening, like, gut check to me, because I was like, okay, well, everybody should be offering it. So you got Steve Tiburon, who's big in our industry. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him now. He's from Strategies for Success. And he talks about putting on your customers' eyeglasses. And so when you do that, you actually listen to what they want and what they need. Those are two different things. And actually put custom packages together for them, with the base package being specifically what they need and the top tier package being everything that you see. And the other thing that you can do getting into there, and this is kind of getting into maybe a little more referral, is joint venturing, where, hey, maybe you partner up with that plumber, or maybe you partner up with that electrician or other supporting services. So when you're in there and you see, hey, their hot water tank is looking pretty old, or maybe their heating is looking pretty old, now all of a sudden you can open yourself up by getting into the heating cooling company that you want to partner with and start exchanging services with them. So they're referring you, you're referring them, and it's just a good thing, and so not to get too off track, but it's just price anchoring, making sure that is where you start off with a high ticket and you work your way down to the low ticket.
That's awesome. So you have a buddy named Trent, I'm guessing. He thinks you're a stud? Yeah.
Trent is awesome. Trent, I'm super excited to see him because he's on your show next Wednesday, right? If I'm not mistaken.
He could be.
I'm pretty sure. So. Trent Lowenstein is phenomenal. We're working together, putting together some coaching stuff, and that's all going to be stuff that's going to be coming. So like I said, if you're interested in that, when I drop that link, there'll be a little form in there that you can, submit your information there as well.
Well, I saw Trent on the ISSA, what's it called? Networking thing, first of the month, the first Thursday of the month.
Yeah, he's speaking at ISSA this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he'll be our guest next week.
All right. I did drop for all of y'all. I did drop the link to that last book that none of us have probably heard of, is What Should We Do by Joe Crisara. I dropped the link to that, and thanks, Tom, for handing that over to me in the comments. So if you want to check that out, I bought it a couple minutes ago.
There you go.
Awesome. Doesn't have very many reviews, so
it's a brand new book. It just launched maybe about 6 months ago. I learned about this through Tommy Mello. I was getting some coaching from Tommy, if you're familiar with him, and he recommended this book to me, and I thought it was a phenomenal read. Got a lot of good things we immediately put into our culture. So it's been phenomenal since we.
I'm excited. Yeah. I'm excited to see that. All right.
So like doubling off that price anchoring, the next one is actually manicuring your packages. If you guys aren't actually putting packages together, this is something that he hammers really hard in the book, but tailor packages and use the name. This is like another one that we're going to talk about here is word butter. Like actually make it sound better than it really might is. If it's window cleaning that you're doing, maybe, it's the platinum package, ultimate VIP, whiz bang bubble, whatever. I don't know.
Word butter. I love that.
Me too. I never heard that before. I love that.
Yeah,
You're
so
dumping some good stuff on us here today.
Yeah.
Okay?
I can't take all the credit. A lot of this stuff, like I said, working with Josh Latimer, War Plan, we're putting some stuff together. And like I said, if you like this is just touching base on. I'll have 60 of these things I'll be able to drop on you and all your listeners at the end of the call.
So excited. Can't wait to open them up. I'm doing everything in my power not to go there and start looking at them before we get there.
Yeah, Liz got some insider information. She got the link early. So
I know, but I haven't opened it yet. And it's, I'm doing really, Tom, you know me. I normally have it up over there. I'm looking at it already.
But when it comes to like the packages, unless you hate money, you got to follow, the two rules of always quote every service that you offer and leverage bundles and packages to make sure that you dive into your average ticket to go up, because if you're not offering it, closed mouths don't get fed. If you're not putting it out there, then the answer is just ultimately no. So just doing that.
All right, I'm going to stop you again here.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm going to stop you is I agree with you 100%. This is a great idea. Tom, how many people do you know in our industry that have packages and bundles? What percentage would you guess?
It's a minority.
Small, right? Small amount of people. Yeah, very, very small. And this is huge, y'all. So figure out something. There's too many options, so many options of different things that you can bundle. Figure out something. You don't have to have the biggest, best, perfect thing. Start somewhere. Start your bundles out there. Get something out there.
Imperfect, massive action.
Yeah.
That's it. Just get out there and do it, And the cool thing is nobody's really paying attention. You think like all eyes are on you, but nobody's really paying that much attention. So if you make a little mistake, it's okay. Just fix it for round 2. That's how things improve. You don't know until you try.
Yeah, love it.
And we kind of already touched base on this a little bit, but optimize your eyes to unlock cross sells. So like I said, look for your local carpet cleaner. Everybody that's in the maid industry, those carpets need to be cleaned. So hey, partner up with that person, and maybe you can cross sell that, or maybe there's some other service that you offer in your business. Maybe you do more than just maid service, and there's something else that you're doing. So look for ways to cross sell as well as upsell. So you mentioned upselling, like cleaning out the fridge, or maybe doing a filter check or something, whatever those upsells might be for the homeowner. But partner with other businesses, and maybe you can get a referral fee, of some kind. Say, hey, lock in a price. We did this with air duct cleaning and stuff like that in our area. We partnered up with a great air duct cleaning. We used to offer it, and then we got to the point where we realized that it was easier for us to team up with them. So they gave us our special rate. Yeah. We sell the service. They provide the delivery on it, and it just works out really, really well. So you can do that. There's so many things in the maid industry. You're in people's homes, their private areas. So you have like this insider information that all the other home services businesses would kill to have. Like they would like to know, what's that furnace looking like? What's that hot water tank looking like? What's the carpets looking like? How are their walls? What's that upholstery looking like? Yeah. All these different things that you can unlock. So build out a list and figure out a way to, get some joint venture work going.
All right, I'm going to just stop you again real quick there. Hey, y'all that need it like just spoon fed to you. Heard what he said. Create a list of all of the things that you see in the house. The walls, do they need painting? Do they need carpet cleaning? Do they need their grout scrubbed? What are all the things that they need to have done, and partner up?
Yeah. I have a thought on that. I'll throw it out as a question. That's a really good idea for a company that is at a certain phase of development, if you will. Is it possible? I don't know how to ask a question. I'll make a statement. Sometimes I've seen companies make what I believe is a mistake. They're really young and they're trying to just figure out how to get a few homes to clean. And they start trying to put together packages and cross sell, and it's like, just keep it simple until because you talked about processes and just getting the routine down. There's a season for that. Wouldn't you agree, DJ?
I agree. I think it boils down to three things: their belief lid, their operational effectiveness lid, and their leadership lid. And I think it boils down to this. Have you ever heard the story of the flea? You put the flea in the jar and it jumps with the lid on, and it keeps hitting its head. So you finally take the lid off, but it only jumps as high as the lid was, so it doesn't hit its head, and it forever stays in that jar. So we all have that kind of thing happening with the different beliefs that we have associated with it. And so if we look at the belief of, maybe I'm not big enough to do those packages. Well, in that case, you know what? You're 100% right, because if you believe that's true, that's what it's going to be. But then you got to look at your operational effectiveness lid. Like, man, maybe I'm not the greatest at doing this type of thing. So what's your belief lid on how well you are at executing the deliverable? Maybe that is. And then the leadership lid, not only do you have to lead yourself, but you have to lead others. We call that in our organization, me leadership versus we leadership. So early on, it's all about me leadership. It's how am I leading myself? How am I showing up to my customers and all that type of stuff? And then as you grow and you scale and you get employees, then you've got to start looking at we leadership. Like, how do we show up as a team? How do I inspire others? Because you can't force anybody to do anything, but you can hope to inspire them to do things. And I'm hoping, like just this conversation we're having here, I'm inspiring your listeners to actually take action today on some of these things to drive more revenue into their business.
All right. I do want to hit on Tom's point, though. Right. So when companies are real small, and sometimes we see companies, DJ, that they're building up their businesses, and sometimes they haven't even cleaned anything yet at all.
Sure.
And they get so busy, well, I'm going to partner with these people, and I'm going to create this package, and I'm going to do this, and they're gonna like,
sure.
Stop gonna do all the things and just start with cleaning.
I agree with you. I have this little thing that it's a little note that I leave on my computer all the time, and it's a constant reminder to myself, and it perfectly ties into what you're saying. It says, some of the greatest plans or intentions have failed because there wasn't a system of execution to see them through. Remember, the road to hell is paved by good intentions. Just start by doing what is necessary, then do what is possible, and then suddenly you're doing the impossible. And I think that's exactly what you're getting at. And I agree with you. And at the end of the day, they got to understand and do what's right for them, but there's no problem with thinking to future endeavors. So essentially,
100%.
And that's that ascension model we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Just don't let it become the next shiny thing. Don't let it become a squirrel that you're chasing and you haven't even executed on the more basic thing that you should be working on.
Well, and I've fallen victim to this too. I heard this recently. Perfectionism is just another form of procrastination.
Yes.
So, you can get into all this stuff really deep and use it as an excuse not to go out and take action.
Done is better than perfect.
Yep.
And there's a time and a season. Also, I'm trying to find the book up here. I thought it was white.
Got a bunch of white books up there.
I know. I'm trying to find it. This is the worst. Whoever thought this was a cool way of organizing your book. But what is it? The one where you, and there are quite a few of them where you got to focus on one thing.
The Power of One Thing. Ed Mylett has a great book called Power of One Thing. There's also the one that you're referencing. It's
the
got
one
the
is the one I'm talking about.
on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, both great books.
And there's a ton of them. Brendan Burchard has one, right?
Yep.
Darren Hardy has one. They all have one. Everybody's Focus is another one. Like, make sure that you get really good at doing the one thing before you try to do all of the things. So definitely look for more things, but don't spread yourself so thin that you're not doing anything well, right? Got to get 2,000 hours in too.
I agree with you. So I'll wrap it up here with you guys on the last part is the price, right? So price is not only strategies to increase your price, but also verifying the accuracy of your price. Ellen Rohr has great resources called How Much Should We Charge? If you're not familiar with that resource, check it out. It's available on her website, Amazon as well. But it's boiling down to, we have like 2,000 billable hours, or 2,000 hours roughly in an average working year. So of that, how efficient are we? And when we're going and doing all this stuff, it breaks down to how much should we be charging an hour. So if you're in a home and it's taking you 2 hours to get that done, are you hitting the margins that you need to hit in your efficiency? Because remember, we don't get paid for speed, we get paid for efficiency. So how efficiently are you billing? We incentivize our people not necessarily on a commission basis, but on an efficiency basis based on billable hours. So that, making sure that it's accurate. So when our techs go into the home, and I'm assuming everybody on this call should be the same way, is when you're going in, review the order and make sure that it is accurate. Maybe there was a price change. Maybe somebody in the office accidentally forgot to add something, or it was wrong for some way, or whatever it might be. It's your responsibility when you go in there to make sure that you're priced properly, and don't be afraid to have it. Honesty will set you free. If there was truly an error, show the error. Be honest with the customer. They're human too. Mistakes can sometimes happen. Just make sure you're accurate. But when it comes to increasing your price, and overall, this also obviously helps with average ticket, but look at the urgency. Hey, do I need a last minute cleaning? We had a customer once that it was Christmas Eve. It was what we not would have deemed an emergency. They needed carpet cleaning and deep house cleaning and stuff like that. That was done, and it was a VIP client of ours. So we rounded up people. We paid everybody double time to come in, and anybody that volunteered. And not only did they pay us top dollar to be in there, they also lined up. There was multiple people in there. They got them given a $1,200 tip to split up amongst all the people that were there because of the urgency, because they weren't expecting to have this party, and then all of a sudden something happened and they had to have this party. So because this urgency happened, I'm not saying take advantage of the customer, but what I am saying is, they have an urgent matter, and you have to sometimes compensate more, and there's other things that are there, adjust your prices accordingly in the urgency.
You're charging for the value you're delivering. And if they need it now, that's a higher value associated with that. Yeah, you're kind of speaking our language from a Made Central standpoint. It's all about knowing how long it's going to take a job, and once you have the time, you can apply whatever rate you want to it, and that rate can vary greatly depending upon the details.
Completely agree.
So those of you that are using Made Central, you already know how important that efficiency number is, but are you using it to its fullest advantage, right? Are you keying in, and are your cleaning professionals knowing what their efficiency numbers are? And there's a lot to that number too.
So
right,
we are we're at the top of the hour, but we've got to show the deliverable here that DJ is going to share with us.
All right. Well, then I will leave this. All these ideas that I'm talking about are on the thing. For those of you that are listening,
can you share your screen, Liz?
Here they come. I'm putting the link in.
Okay, I'll drop the link.
For those that are listening and might not be able to click on the link, it's app.warplan.com/60PPI/DJ. So that's app.warplan.com 60PPI/DJ. And that's going to take you to a little landing page that will allow you to download 60 profit producing ideas. If you liked what we had, I only cherry picked a couple that I really liked out of there, and go out there and make some money, guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to share, Tom, and for some reason my screen seems stuck.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's good now. Let me see if I can just real quick for y'all that are live on here, share the screen. War plan. Come on, do it.
Well,
is it showing?
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it looks like, y'all. All right. And do they just fill in their
all they got to do is put their name and email in there, and it'll deliver them the 60 profit producing ideas.
All right. So we're done.
So if you need a little more clarity on some of the things that we discussed on the call, everything we discussed on the calls in there, as well as all kinds of others. And if you want to work with me or my buddy Trent that we're going to be talking, that's going to be on your show next week. Just fill that out, and we'll be able to help you guys out with your business. We're kind of soft launching some coaching stuff on ways that, if you want to grow your business 620%, like I had, and some things that Trent's done that's been phenomenal, hit us up.
Nice.
DJ, you're going to have to come back. Just bottom line. We've learned so much unique stuff today. We've heard so much unique stuff that I'm sure you've got a few more nuggets in your tool bag that you could share with us.
Definitely. I would love to be back, and just let me know. And everybody that's listening, thank you so much for your time and taking the time to actually invest in yourself by listening to this. That's huge. You're in like the 1% by doing that, because most people don't actually take the time. And those who are applying what we're talking about today, you're in the 1% of the 1%. So give yourself a pat on the back. That's awesome.
Yeah. Pat, here we go.
And
all right,
before we go, the answer to the Smart Business Moves trivia question, who is the coach who works with solo cleaners? It's Ken Carfagno.
Yay. Good job, Tom. Thank you so much. Hey, that's our good buddy, Ken. Now we actually know your name, Ken.
We knew that.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you again, DJ. And we are out until next week, when it sounds like we're going to have Trent on. See you then.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.